Hey there, and welcome to Acutely Amanda, a podcast where I share short fiction that stays with you, along with the real life and craft behind it. I'm Amanda, and today's episode is about a mouse. Let's get to it. Polly's Peril by Amanda McNeil. The house mouse scurries, leaping from small plank to small plank laid out across floor joists. The gaps would be an annoyance to humans if they ever were to venture out into this crawl space, but to the house mouse they require a semi-daring leap of confidence. Only the bravest house mouse among all the mice in this home ventures up to this floor anyway, for a cat lives on this floor. A cunning creature who always seems to hear them coming, no matter how quietly they land their feet or how much they resist squeaking. Many a mouse has ventured onto this floor, never to return. Polly darts down another board, then turns a corner to run along the wiring to a hole in the wall alongside the human's gas line. It looks perfectly designed for a mouse. Her heart pitter-patters in her chest at almost the same rate as her breathing. Her tummy rumbles painfully. The humans on the other two floors have figured her and her family out, and they've locked all their food up into plastic and metal bins. The thing about a home with a cat is that even if they lock up all their food, they have to leave out the cats. Only the bravest, fastest, and quietest of house mice can pull off such a feat, and Polly is just such a mouse. She pauses at the gas line hole, watching and waiting, but something already feels different. The floor is much colder than usual. There's still a faint, musty scent of cat, but the pungent aroma of kitty kibble is nowhere to be found. It's dark, but that's how it always is when Polly visits. Her legs quiver with the pent-up energy, preparing for the dash along the edges of the tiled floor to the far corner where the cat's plastic bowl awaits. Then all her energy erupts at once, propelling her out of the hole to the left before taking a tight turn to the right. This one is the dangerous one, the doorway into the kitchen. Sometimes the cat lurks there, but it's not there today. She continues along the edge of the room until she's lined up with where the cat's bowl should be. Only then does she realize something else is wrong. The bowl isn't there. Neither is the large kitchen island she usually hides behind with her pieces of food, nibbling out of the cat's reach before gathering up what she can to bring back home. Today, all the room holds are cabinets, stove, and refrigerator. Even though she can still smell the cat is not there. The humans are gone. Even though she will inevitably return safely, she and her family will go hungry tonight. The end. Fiction builds empathy, even for the non-human. Stories have a unique way of pulling us into perspectives we might never experience firsthand, or in the case of this, we'll definitely never experience firsthand. I'm never going to be a mouse, and neither will you. Research suggests that reading fiction actually helps develop empathy, allowing us to better understand and connect with others, whether they're from a different background, culture, or even species. When we read, we step into someone else's world, imagining what it's like to see through their eyes, feel their emotions, and navigate their struggles. Studies have shown that literary fiction, in particular, enhances our ability to read emotions and understand complex social situations. This effect is not just limited to human characters. Some of the most profound empathy-building moments in fiction come from experiencing the world as an animal, an AI, or even something completely otherworldly. Think about how many children's books feature talking animals. There's a reason for that. Anthropomorphized characters create emotional distance, making it easier to explore difficult topics without overwhelming young readers. As adults, we continue to connect with non-human protagonists in sci-fi, fantasy, and other speculative fiction. Whether it's a sentient spaceship, an alien species, or shape-shifting creature, these characters push us to think beyond our own human experience. Fiction isn't just entertainment, it's a tool for expanding our emotional world. It asks us to feel for others, even those wildly different from ourselves. And in doing so, it makes us more compassionate, more understanding, and more open to perspectives we might otherwise never consider. This story was inspired for me by the neighborhood that I lived in Boston, which is known as Allston-Brighton. And Allston-Brighton is notorious for its rodent problem. Allston is called Rat City. Although what was normally invading people's homes wasn't rats, but rather house mice. So thankfully the rats usually stayed outside. And, it was interesting to hear that a lot of the people in these neighborhoods had some empathy for the house mice living in their homes. More so than I would hear from people living in neighborhoods where it was very uncommon for there to be a rodent problem. And you would think it would be the opposite. So I thought it would be an interesting exercise to try writing a story from the perspective of one of these mice. What makes people feel empathy for them in this neighborhood. And something that is quite common in this neighborhood is there's a lot of moving in and out because there's a lot of students in the housing. And there's a lot of temporary transitory housing going on. So I just considered what would it be like if, because mice have very short lifespans, even a short living there and moving out would feel very significant to them. So that was the thought exploration that led to me writing about Polly. So trying to figure out the empathy for what to a lot of people feels like a problem. That's it for this episode of Acutely Amanda. If you enjoyed this story and discussion, drop a like and let me know what resonated the most in the comments if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. And if you enjoyed what you heard, check out my longer form writing on opinionsofawolf.com/publications. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye.